Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault.
And I'm Andrew Chang. Tonight, Canada's first female finance minister.
It's about time that we broke that glass ceiling.
A historic pick in unprecedented times. The Trudeau government plans an economic reset, but will it be enough to turn the page on the we controversy?
A COVID spike in the West.
I don't think we expected quite this rate of growth and this sustained.
Testing sites at capacity in BC and a health watch issued in Edmonton.
How the Democrats' virtual convention is resonating in a key battleground.
I think we win Wisconsin and we have President Joe Biden.
The state that could help decide the election.
It's frustrating. You know, it's 2020.
The pandemic is driving women from the workforce.
If, you know, more of our time is spent doing childcare, that could be more of a permanent shift.
What a historic she-cession could do to the economy. This is The National.
Today's federal cabinet shuffle may have been small when it came to the number of positions, but it was historic in significance.
Today, Chrystia Freeland accepted another key cabinet role, becoming the first woman to be Canada's finance minister.
To all the Canadian women across our amazing country who are out there breaking glass ceilings, keep going.
Freeland, who keeps the job of Deputy Prime Minister, has been part of Trudeau's inner circle as long as the man she replaces, Finance Minister Bill Morneau, who abruptly resigned yesterday. His choice, he says. And taking over Freeland's old post at Intergovernmental Affairs, Dominic LeBlanc, another highly trusted figure close to the Prime Minister.
And as soon as today's mini cabinet shuffle was done, so was Parliament, prorogued by order of the Prime Minister until next month. He says to focus on government business. The opposition says to outrun the We charity controversy. David Cochrane begins our coverage.
Amidst the controversy, a moment of history.
I, Chrystia Freeland, do solemnly...
She becomes the first woman to serve as Canada's federal finance minister, after serving as Justin Trudeau's go-to minister from practically day one. When Donald Trump wanted to tear up NAFTA, Trudeau turned to Freeland. When the last election revealed deep fractures with the provinces, he turned to her again. And now that the economy needs a pandemic recovery plan, he turns to her once more.
It has been a privilege to work with Bill, and I wish him all the very best in the coming years.
Of course, Trudeau is also turning to Freeland to turn the page. Her predecessor, Bill Morneau, quit on Monday after reports of a deep rift with the Prime Minister.
When Bill Morneau told you he was going to resign, did you ask him to stay?
I think through this pandemic, we have done many extraordinary things.
Trudeau's long answer didn't include yes. Determined to move on, he also hit the reset button for Parliament.
I have asked the Governor-General to prorogue Parliament
until September 23rd, when there will be a new speech from the throne.
We do not want an election, but it is obvious that the throne speech we gave 8 months ago is no longer relevant for the reality that Canadians are living.
So the promise of a blueprint to a post-COVID economy that tries to solve the problems laid bare by this pandemic.
The restart of our economy needs to be green. It also needs to be equitable. It needs to be inclusive.
Regardless, though, of how you play musical chairs, we still have the same corrupt and incompetent Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister has changed the cabinet, but the opposition won't change the conversation.
The Deputy Prime Minister was at the table, at the cabinet table, when decisions were made around we. She was there.
That new throne speech will almost immediately go to a confidence vote to determine if a government that just lost a top minister can hold on to power or be forced to call an election. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
Okay, so small shuffle, potentially big implications. Let's bring in our chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton. Rosie, is this the government just trying to turn the page on the We scandal?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an attempt to do that. The fact that they are choosing to prorogue now for more than a month, rather than letting committees who were, set to hear from more witnesses around the WE controversy as early as next week, continue their work, that is all shut down now. So it certainly allows the opposition parties to ask questions and to, raise their eyebrows a little bit around the timing of this. However, the government's also releasing 5,000 pages of documents and emails attached to this controversy. So it's difficult to say that the government is, hiding something here. The opposition parties will start looking at those and prepare if they see anything in them for when Parliament returns.
So if this is a government sort of resetting, what direction is that reset heading in?
Well, it seems to be fairly bold. The Prime Minister talked today about a better Canada, and that means everything, an economic recovery that covers everything from fighting climate change to making sure that women aren't left behind, to addressing some of the inequities we've seen in society throughout this pandemic, whether it be long-term care homes or marginalized communities. Those are all ideas that they talked about today and that will be central to the throne speech in September. But they're going to have to not only get Canadians to buy into that, but also another opposition party. Likely we will see some negotiations as we get closer to the throne speech, particularly with the NDP, to get some of these more progressive ideas on the table, and we'll see whether the NDP will buy into them, but also whether the country approves of them as well.
All right, Rosie, I know you have more on this with At Issue on Thursday. Thank you.
You bet.
Now, with her new position, Chrystia Freeland steps into one of the most complicated financial situations in Canadian history. Aaron Saltzman looks at the challenges ahead.
First, the good news. The new minister takes over an economy that has snapped back from its lows faster than forecast.
Whether you're looking at retail sales, auto sales, home purchases, job creation, these have all been coming in consistently stronger. So she is stepping into the job on a positive note.
But 1.2 million Canadians were still out of work last month due to COVID-19. And when the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit transitions to EI 5 weeks from now, most won't qualify. The start of the school year has been delayed in some provinces, prompting calls for a national childcare program. Grounded airlines are still burning through billions a day. The oil and gas sector is at a standstill, and government debt is nearing $1.2 trillion. Amid all that, the minister has to find a way to improve the economy of the future while still spending her way out of the present.
We have to solve for the greatest economic hit that we've experienced in decades, but we also, in the meantime, have to help transition our economy to the new normal.
That's without knowing when work or even life will go back to normal.
When you're faced with that, the inclination is to pull back, not to invest, not to expand. And as a result, you don't see the sort of growth that we need to see in the economy.
Meanwhile, exports are facing a hit from disputes with our two biggest trading partners. A challenging time to step in, to say the least. Aaron Saltzman, CBC News, Toronto.
Of course, driving that economic uncertainty, the uncertainty over the pandemic and how much worse it could get. Today, Prince Edward Island reported 3 cases, the only new infections in Atlantic Canada. Ontario saw 125 new cases, the province's highest single-day jump since late July. And out west, the upward spike continues, with 89 new cases reported in Alberta and 83 in British Columbia.
Now, BC has once again moved to extend its state of emergency, promising action to bring numbers back down. But as Briar Stewart shows us, that surge in cases is already having a big impact.
It doesn't open till 12.
Even before the testing center opened, cars trying to be among the first in line.
Yeah, you can't stop though, you gotta keep moving.
And when it opened, it didn't take long. People were told to come back later.
Bring this back at 1:30. Thank you.
Over the weekend, more than 10,000 people were tested in BC, and the province now has its highest count ever for active COVID-19 infections.
I don't think we expected quite this rate of growth and this sustained.
This epidemiologist says even though hospitalizations are down, the increase in cases is concerning.
I think it's a risk if we allow a large burden of cases to build up in the population in young people. They won't stay in young people forever. Eventually, somebody knows somebody.
A few bars have been closed after being connected to COVID cases, and public health has stepped up inspections of banquet halls. While officials say most businesses are complying with the rules, stronger enforcement is on the way to deal with those letting their guard down.
You know, being in the age group that the cases are growing, I firsthand know how people are responding, and I don't really think it's, they're not being smart about it, they're not being safe about it.
And the timing is particularly worrying for parents given that school is starting soon.
I would say unsafe for my family.
Edmund Luke launched a petition urging the government to make in-person classes voluntary and asking for online education. More than 35,000 have signed on.
The start of the school is right after a long weekend, and many of the cases now that you see are also a result of the long weekend in August.
So the question remains, how busy will these testing lineups be come September?
Thank you, keep moving.
Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.
The city of Edmonton now accounts for more than half of Alberta's active cases. That's a spike that has health officials concerned, and they're pointing to large gatherings as a main reason for the spread. Carolyn Dunn has the details.
For the Rana Bass family, the carefree days of summer have been plagued by uncertainty about returning to school. In the end, Mackenzie and Ashan will put on their masks and head back.
If we just don't feel safe within a couple months of school starting, we definitely have that option to say, hey, I think we just might rethink this and keep the kids home.
Teachers and school staff are being encouraged to be tested before classes begin. Here's what they were facing today: a snaking lineup of people waiting to be tested for COVID-19, perhaps the most visible sign that Edmonton is seeing a big spike. Just 9 days after returning to work in hotel maintenance, Gary Sander is off yet again. A co-worker has tested positive. His income has been halved, but Sander has a bigger concern.
Oh, well, I could take it home to my family, and I don't want my family to get it because my wife is diabetic, so we can't take the risk.
Most of Edmonton's cases have come from parties and social events, a vast majority of new cases in people under 40. But there are now 15 confirmed Edmonton cases connected to this church, raising concerns about other gatherings. Enough cases to put the city on an official COVID watch.
There are no additional public health measures required at this time in Edmonton. However, we are watching it closely.
This infectious diseases specialist says the numbers are a clear warning sign.
And as soon as you let your guard down, it seems to come roaring back very effectively. And I think we're seeing the start of that here.
The question now is how to convince the rest of the city to take the measures needed to reduce that roar. Carolyn Dunn, CBC News, Edmonton.
Now, when it comes to schools and COVID, post-secondary students are also coming up against new challenges, especially as they enter first year. Deanna Sumanek-Johnson shows us why.
4 days from now, this high school grad will leave her parents' home for Montreal to start her first year at McGill University. All of her courses will be taught online, but she has still chosen to live on campus.
I know for a fact that I'm just really bad at working in my own home, so to be on campus would really be the best thing for me to actually focus on my classes.
But while she's excited, there are many unknowns. The residence she was initially assigned to was shut down because of its communal bathroom.
So I don't actually know where I'm going to be living right now. I probably will be living in a different residence, hotel style. It's all single rooms and they all have their own bathroom.
Uncertainty, anxiety, last-minute changes, all now part of the package for students who choose to study on campus. Here at the University of Toronto, students are only now finding out some of their courses are going online. The school is reducing the number of in-person courses, saying students will be informed sometime before the school year starts. That's just 3 weeks away. On the East Coast, 4 provincial governments established the Atlantic Bubble.
This is where we cook our 3 meals a day.
Students from outside those provinces have to quarantine for 14 days, like this Montrealer studying in Nova Scotia.
Not really allowed to go outside except maybe for a little bit of fresh air. My apartment is on the 3rd floor of the house, so I don't have access to a balcony or something like that.
But even with all those protocols in place, experts worry that much still depends on individual student behavior.
They're, expecting to have the social component of life in residence, life away from home. And that's going to be hard to navigate during COVID.
Hana Mitsui Hot says her parents trust her to be responsible. One hard part will be saying goodbye in the 15 minutes families are allotted to move the student in and leave the campus. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, a clear sense of just what's at stake for students and schools. In the U.S., the University of Notre Dame is now shifting to online classes as colleges scramble to deal with virus outbreaks.
If these steps are not successful, we will have to send students home, as we did last spring.
An off-campus party is said to have led to a balloon in cases at the school, which is now reporting nearly 150 total positives. The University of North Carolina has also canceled in-person lectures after 130 students tested positive in the first week of classes alone.
And this is night 2 of the Democratic National Convention, forced online and on TV only because of COVID-19 concerns. But our Susan Ormiston is on the ground in Wisconsin, which turned Republican 4 years ago after 3 decades of supporting Democrats.
Cows don't care, but paddocks are political turf in Wisconsin. Kristen Jersick is passionate about climate and sustainable agriculture. She smells a change, well, hopes.
I feel like people out here are super frustrated with the agricultural economy itself and with the trade war. I definitely know people that have remorse that they made a bad choice.
Outside the cities, Wisconsin is more conservative. Jersick's neighboring farmers went with Donald Trump last time. To win, Joe Biden will need to show up eventually. Hillary Clinton didn't.
You just took it for granted that, Wisconsin was a given.
Do you think it's going to be close?
I do. In this community, so many people are just staunch Republicans, but if Grandpa voted that way, everybody else is going to keep voting that way, maybe without thinking a lot about it.
Trump and Pence are here twice this week when the state was supposed to be overrun with Democrats for their convention. There's no mistaking loyalties at Arback Acres with a flag, F your feelings.
The state is in chaos. I am a Trump fan. I know people don't really want to hear that. He pretty much says, this is how I feel, this is what I think. If you don't like it, he doesn't care. But I also think he is more for the people than what people give him credit for.
But in the city, places like North End, Milwaukee, struggling before are worse with the pandemic. Voting here in 2016 fell 20%, helping Trump. Dan says he will vote this time.
Trump is a bully. He's ignorant. He don't know nothing. I don't even know how you be a president. If Trump could be the president, then you might as well vote Kanye for president.
Too many communities have been left in the lurch.
Now, with the virtual convention, with neighbors watching in their backyards instead of the convention floor, that'll test Democrats' ingenuity to energize the vote to bring Wisconsin back in the fold.
I think people have now learned their lesson, and they are going to vote in droves this fall. Wisconsin's extremely important. I think we win Wisconsin, and we have President Joe Biden.
They say they're ready.
Susan, the pictures are amazing. This Democratic convention couldn't be more physically distant. What's your takeaway from where you're standing?
Well, the virtual convention, Republicans are surely taking notes about what not to do for their convention, less of anything that looks like a webinar. And ratings are down 28%, TV ratings over 4 years ago. But Adrian, convention ratings don't win elections, campaigning does. And by staying away, Biden is avoiding the COVID risk, but with Trump crisscrossing the country in person as well as in Wisconsin, Biden takes a political risk too.
All right, thank you, Susan. Susan Ormiston in Milwaukee tonight.
Well, soldiers in Mali have detained the president and prime ministers in what appears to be an attempted coup. State media now reporting the president has resigned. The arrests have drawn international condemnation, including from the UN. The West African nation has been rocked by mass protests since June, with calls for the president to resign over worsening security and corruption.
The devastating explosion in Beirut 2 weeks ago ended up delaying a long-awaited verdict for Lebanon. Only one of 4 Hezbollah militants accused in the assassination of former Prime Minister Rafik Hariri has been convicted. Margaret Evans explains.
15 years after his assassination, Rafik Hariri's presence is still seared across the politics of Lebanon. Nowhere more evident than in the center of the Beirut he helped rebuild after the country's long civil war. The former Sunni prime minister was killed in 2005, along with 21 other people, when his convoy was targeted near the city's corniche.
As it approached the St. George's Hotel near the coast in Beirut, a massive explosion was detonated.
Today, a special UN-backed tribunal convicted in absentia Salim Ayash, a member of the Shia militant group Hezbollah, of conspiracy to kill Hariri. Charges against 3 others were dismissed. For Hariri's son Saad, himself a former prime minister, it was justice served cold and incomplete.
I think today's, everybody's expectation was much higher than what came out.
Hariri's murder led to the Cedar Revolution, pushing Syrian troops out of Lebanon. Before his death, he was advocating for an end to Syrian influence. Damascus, one of Hezbollah's main backers. The tribunal said they may have had motive to eliminate Hariri, but that there was no evidence of involvement. Political analyst Imad Salameh says that won't end speculation.
The decision was made to assassinate Prime Minister Rafik Hariri. They weren't acting on their own. Everyone in Lebanon at least will know this.
Hezbollah refuses to recognize the tribunal. Lebanon's complex political system, where various sects share power and patronage, is already under considerable strain against a backdrop of economic collapse, the global pandemic, and the huge chemical explosion that ripped through Beirut's port earlier this month, just over a kilometer from the site where Rafik Hariri was killed. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
Well, amid growing criticism of policing, the Toronto Police agreed today to spend tens of millions of dollars on body cams.
To transform policing and to rebuild trust.
But is it enough? That's up next.
Plus, the pandemic's impact on working moms.
I'm exhausted.
It's women who are juggling kids and work or dropping out of the workforce completely.
It's disappointing because it's so typical.
And keeping history alive.
Like I told all the guys, you're going to be a part of history here.
The Ontario baseball team keeping a tradition going that's almost as old as Canada itself. We're back in 2. A wildfire in BC's Okanagan has prompted an evacuation order for more than 300 homes. The fire broke out this afternoon near Penticton, burning through about 250 hectares. More than 70 new wildfires were reported in the province in the past 2 days. The RCMP watchdog is investigating this June incident in Nunavut, where a man was hit with the door of a moving police car. The federal agency will review police conduct and whether racial bias played a part in the violent arrest. Ottawa Police and the RCMP were already investigating the incident. Now, moments like those caught on video have renewed calls for more police officers to wear body cameras. As Christine Birak tells us, Canada's biggest municipal force is going ahead with them.
Get on the ground.
The footage can be shaky and startling, but Toronto's Police Services Board is convinced body cameras offer accountability.
Drop it!
Amid calls to defund police over systemic racism and police brutality, the board met to review reports relating to police reform. It agreed to allow more debate over the force's billion-dollar budget and signed off on buying over 2,000 body cameras at a cost of more than $34 million. Interim Police Chief James Raymer said the cameras will be used to create trust and legitimacy between officers and the public.
We're looking for more. We're looking for our call to action speaks specifically with respect to legally binding remedies.
An Ontario Human Rights Commission report found even when unarmed and without a criminal record, Black people are significantly more likely than others to be arrested, charged, or killed by Toronto police. The commission wants a review of when officers can use force and when they can be suspended without pay.
There's no independent monitoring system. While they speak of action, they don't speak about accountability.
Police officers killed Senos Timon's nephew, Andrew Loku, in 2015. He was shot 19 seconds after police arrived on the scene. Timon's in favor of body cameras.
Hopefully that no one would go through what we've been through.
I got him, go!
Calgary is the only large police force in Canada using body-worn cameras. Early reports found no evidence that they had an impact on complaints against police officers.
Is questionable.
This criminologist argues the money could be better spent.
This might be our chance to use funds in other community-oriented programs that focus on crime prevention as opposed to law enforcement.
Adding, the Minneapolis police officers who killed George Floyd were all wearing body cameras. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, when we come back, one of the most pressing issues for Canada's first female finance minister, getting women back into the workforce.
The coronavirus is hitting women particularly hard. It's hitting mothers particularly hard.
Next, as families grapple with uncertain plans for school and childcare, we hear from women shouldering the bulk of the burden.
I know so many who have made such great strides in their careers, and all of a sudden it's coming to a stop.
We're back right after this.
The economic challenge created by the coronavirus is hitting women particularly hard. It's hitting mothers particularly hard.
So there's Canada's new finance minister on the high cost women are paying during the pandemic slump. A new report shows 1.5 million Canadian women lost their jobs in the first 2 months, many in hard-hit service industries. By April, the percentage of women in the workforce was the lowest in 34 years, an economic situation many now call the she-cession. There are fears the pandemic will erase decades of progress for working mothers as they stay home to handle childcare. Many felt they had no choice, even while trying to juggle their own busy careers. Joanna Remiliotis looks at how some women are holding up.
Millicent over here.
Her day started hours ago, and Charlotte Schwartz is already behind.
Work-wise, I have done 2 emails and read 1 draft of something. Yeah.
Getting 2 of her kids to camp will mean some reprieve.
Just don't lock me out, okay?
But with a toddler in tow, it can be a challenge just getting there.
Like literally nothing is done yet. Yeah, nothing has been accomplished, but yeah.
But you got up at 5:30?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean much right now. Under normal circumstances, it's a good thing, but it doesn't mean a whole lot in pandemic mode. So.
Pandemic mode. For working mothers, it means a constant state of distraction.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Across the street, Rena Parek. She's also about to start the daily juggle again.
I'm exhausted, and it's not even that physical exhaustion, it's mental and emotional exhaustion. I call this a pandemic rage exercise.
Like so many women, Rena is picking up the ball at home now more than ever.
Okay.
She's a fitness trainer, trying to hold on to a new business that was just getting off the ground, while she takes care of the kids.
Jump, jump, jump. The rage is about how we just fall back into this pattern. It's very frustrating when women like myself, and I know so many who have made such great strides in their careers, and all of a sudden it's coming to a stop.
Party?
It's a pandemic reality.
You want to sit with me? Okay.
The challenge for working moms these days is trying to get the paying job done.
Oh my goodness.
In between everything else.
Have a seat. There you go. Is that good? In recent memory, I don't think I've been through a task where I actually sat down and completed it beginning to end without getting up a few times to get someone a snack or get someone a cup of water or whatever. Oh, and moving again. That is parenting typically, but I've always had the break of going to work, and now I don't have that.
Worried about this thing making too much noise?
It's not making any noise right now at all.
Charlotte and her husband both work from home.
What?
She's a senior law clerk, and the interruptions from the most junior member of the home are constant.
You think I can do one thing? Want what?
Exactly. There's no winning this game of chicken.
There they are.
So Charlotte gets up at the crack of dawn, squeezes in work around her daughter's naps, and then she'll often work late when all the kids go to bed. She's not sure how it happened, but she's the one doing more.
It's disappointing because it's so typical, I guess, is the easiest answer. But you can tell that anxiety is high because you're still trying to have this career that in my case, I've been building it for 18 years. But then all these, additional tasks suddenly fall to you in the absence of childcare and school and other things. Good breathing.
Most of Rena's work was in a gym, but between the lockdown and lack of childcare, she lost most of her income.
Oh! You okay?
What can I do for you, Pop? Okay, can I have 2 of sweet potatoes? Yes, sir.
On the other hand, her husband's samosa takeout business is doing well. And for him to keep working, one of them has to be home. And like many women, she's it.
It's frustrating. It's 2020. We feel like we finally started making progress and we find ourselves in a pandemic. This is a result of the systems that are in place. Traditionally, men make more than women. And so when we look at a household with 2 incomes and the man is making more, the other person, it almost just doesn't make sense for that person not to step back. So just set up your phone so I can see your feet.
Rena scaled back, and she's still doing virtual coaching.
Your feet look like
we've been working on this squat together for a long time.
But there's always a little one nearby.
So
So she tries to work around their schedules, even though that means her workday often stretches well into the night.
And then let's try the other leg. That's why I take calls in the evening or during the day, like during that nap time. It's so I don't get interrupted. Oh, sorry. Are you okay? We're doing this interview probably half an hour and I've already been interrupted, right? So it's really hard to keep that sense of professionalism.
And there's already a cost. It's been coined the she-cession because the pandemic has hit sectors dominated by women, such as service and hospitality, hardest. Those sectors are also slower to bounce back, but the employment numbers already show fewer women are going back.
We're going to be the one to put up our hand and say, this situation isn't workable. We can't both be in the home working, or I can't go out and do my job. Someone has to take care of the kids. And so all too often the woman is the one who puts up her hand and says, okay, I won't go back.
Jennifer Reynolds is the president and CEO of Toronto Finance International, which works to attract financial investment to Toronto. She's also led initiatives to keep women in the workforce.
I worry if we shift into these traditional roles, if more of our time is spent doing childcare relative to work, as we were in the past, that could be more of a permanent shift.
Jennifer says the research is clear. When women step out of the job market, it's often tough to step back in.
If you take a few years out, there's no doubt about it, it's hard. It's hard to go back. It's very hard to catch up, so to speak, in your career, catch up income-wise, wage-wise, with where you would have been if you'd continued working. So this could have very, very long-term impacts on women.
As friends and neighbors, Charlotte and Rena can commiserate. That is when they find the time.
So what time are we meeting for porch wine?
They've both thought about taking a break from work, but it would mean losing everything they've worked for.
No work got done today. My kids are young, but they're still watching. And I know one day we're going to look back on this and talk about the time when we were in isolation. But Mommy kept going. Mommy kept working. And that self-fulfillment piece, too. becomes very important without completely losing ourselves in motherhood. There's a MIDI.
And with an uncertain return to school and daycare, there's no real end in sight.
Having a career outside of the home has been a thing that I've always had. And to see how quickly that can become not significant in order to care for the kids instead is really interesting. And I'm sure it's going to be the subject of many a university level course one day is, what happened to the women during that pandemic in 2020? Did they all drop their careers entirely? Did they shift careers to something completely different that came, was born of this situation? What did they do?
As for them, for now anyway, they'll keep doing it all.
Good job.
Joanna Rumeliotis, CBC News, Toronto.
Okay, still ahead on the national. The Canadian city keeping a historic ballparks world record going.
I think this is going to be one of the best games I ever played in my life.
Despite a canceled season, a game to keep a Guinness record alive. Coming up.
Debt is piling up. Social divisions are widening, but there is hope.
That is Leslyn Lewis, making her pitch to be the next leader of the federal Conservative Party. We've been bringing you profiles of all 4 candidates as that race comes to a close. Now today, Justin Trudeau prorogued Parliament until September 23rd, and the new Conservative leader will be in place long before that, with final vote counts expected on Sunday. Tonight, Vashi Kapellos, host of Power and Politics, takes a closer look at candidate Leslyn Lewis.
Leslyn Lewis is clear on what she thinks leaders should and shouldn't do.
When we elect officials to represent us, they do not have unfettered power to instruct city officials, city employees on how to conduct their jobs.
That's Lewis last fall. She was the lawyer representing a music festival that claimed it was unfairly shut down by the city of Vaughan.
As a government official, we are elected to serve you.
Now, Lewis is in the running to become an elected official and one of the highest ranking in the country at that, as she runs for the leadership of the Conservative Party.
My parents left everything behind to come to this great country because they believed that it was the best country in the world to raise their children.
Lewis and her family came to Canada from Jamaica when she was just 5. She has multiple degrees and practiced law for nearly 20 years.
I would support making sure that Canadians are safe.
Lewis is a social conservative and says attempts in the past to shield those elements of the Conservative Party have backfired.
You have to come out and say exactly what you're for. We've been accused of that in the past as Conservatives, having a hidden agenda. I think that the more pragmatic approach is to tell people exactly what you intend to do.
Lewis is the only candidate who is not a member of Parliament. She did run in the 2015 federal election as a late replacement candidate for the Conservative Party and came in second behind the Liberals.
I believe that when Conservatives unite, social conservatives, progressive conservatives, libertarian and fiscal conservatives, we can start the work of healing this great nation.
If she wins, Lewis would be the first Black woman to lead a Canadian political party. Vashi Kapellos, CBC News, Ottawa.
Okay, next we're going to hear from an Ontario woman you may remember from last year on The National before the last election. Maggie Sywink took part in our face-to-face segment that let voters put questions directly to party leaders. We've asked her what she would like to see from a new Conservative leader. But first, a reminder.
My name is Maggie Sywink. I am from Whitefish River First Nation, which is in Ontario. I am an advocate for the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. I have 43 nieces and nephews, and many of them who are voting age actually voted in the last election, which I'm very proud of.
I think most importantly for me as an Indigenous woman, when I think about fiscal responsibility, is I look at my own spending.
My question focused on fiscal responsibility of the federal government to the Canadian taxpayers. How the pandemic has affected my life is looking at how the government is treating vulnerable communities, including the homeless. Are they providing enough care?
Look at the potential government that's coming in.
A question that I would have for the new leader of the Conservative Party would be, if Canada is looking at the new normal, how would you form a relationship with the people who are actually needing the change on the ground level? The leader of the Conservative Party would definitely have to find a way to reach out to minorities, to reach women, to reach the young voter in Canada, to ensure that they have a safe plan for Canadians moving forward should another pandemic happens again in the coming years.
When we come back, a family's fix for COVID separation. When dad returns from work away, they isolate together. But first,
the hockey world is mourning tonight after the passing of one of the greatest players to ever don a Winnipeg Jets jersey.
Tries to clear, knocked down by Hawerchuk. There's the shot, score!
Dale Hawerchuk played 16 seasons in the NHL and nearly a decade as the face of the Jets. The Hall of Famer also represented Canada numerous times and played an integral role in one of the most memorable goals in Canadian hockey history. He passed away after a battle with cancer at the age of 57.
I'm Josh Block. Tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner, we take you inside the lab where Canadian scientists are racing to make a COVID-19 vaccine. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
welcome back. It's been such a strange 5 months for Canadians, keeping families safe, keeping kids amused. And for many of us, our bubbles are still going, but they also keep growing. So imagine going in and out of quarantine every 2 weeks. That is exactly what one family in Yellowknife is doing. Kate Kyle now on how they're coping in and out of isolation and why.
I gotta work.
After 2 weeks of juggling work and childcare, Shannon Allerston says she and her children are ready to be reunited with their dad. Mike Allerston works in Fort McMurray, 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off.
Come on, Jojo.
They're used to this back and forth, but since the pandemic, these homecomings have gotten more complicated. The whole family has decided to self-isolate.
You try to get the kids pumped up, like, Daddy will be home tomorrow, like, they haven't seen them for 2 weeks, and then they start to cry because, oh, now we can't invite our friends over, we can't go to the park.
There's only been 5 confirmed cases of the virus in the Northwest Territories, no new ones since April. They're being careful.
It's kind of like an emotional roller coaster all the time.
I mean, the kids are small. We can't isolate from the children, or else they would never see their dad and spend time with their dad.
With fewer flights, Mike drives 1,600 kilometers to and from work.
Waking up at 4 in the morning and driving right through till 9, 10 at night, just so I can get home to my family or get to work, right? So it's had a toll that way.
Both parents agree there are positives too.
Just playing with my kids, I've been able to do a lot of things, building forts and telling stories, spooky stories, and wrestling with them.
I mean, just the snuggles in the morning, like, we're not rushing to get everybody out the door.
When my daddy is home, I miss my friends.
Both Mike and Shannon worry about how all this isolating is affecting their children and what happens when school starts. They're preparing to send their children part-time.
It's just kind of sad to know that he's not going to get the same sort of access to education as the other kids. He's not going to get to see his friends as much.
They've inquired about getting Mike an exemption from having to self-isolate. On Friday, the family heard it may be possible if he can get tested in Alberta before returning to Yellowknife. Kate Kyle, CBC News, Yellowknife.
All right, let's get Johnny. Ready?
Okay, next on The National. Call it a Field of Dreams story.
Like I told all the guys, you're going to be a part of history here.
Keeping a ballpark's history alive in our moment. Well, this diamond here in London, Ontario, isn't just any ballpark. For the last 143 years, it's held the world record for the oldest and longest active baseball field in the world. Then COVID-19 threatened to end it, but the city rallied to keep the record going, and that is our moment.
Labatt's been the longest standing baseball field in the world. So on Friday, we're actually going to play a game against the Gruff Royals. This game is actually going to mean a lot. It's going to keep the heritage going, and you know what? It'll keep us going in the Guinness Book of World Records. The league was canceled this year just due to COVID reasons, and you know what? Which is understandable. Health comes first. The city came together, and we're able to play a game against one of our rival teams. And you know what? It's going to be a great game. There won't be any fans or nothing allowed, but you know what? I always tell people, Labatt Park, it has its own fans in spirit anyway. Once you step onto the oldest ballpark, you know what? Everything just feels great anyway. You know what? Just to go out there and put on a great show for the city. Like I told all the guys, you're going to be a part of history here. You're going to be able to look back and tell your sons, grandkids, or anybody that, you know, you played in the game to help save that heritage. And I think this is going to be one of the best games I ever played in my life.
I love it. So 1877, playing games continuously since 1877.
It's a long time.
The oldest park in the MLB is Fenway, but 1912, it's a junior burger.
Right. And you know, he was very right. The fans will be there in spirit. They'll also be watching. It's being broadcast on TV. You can watch on YouTube as well. So promises to be a good time. You'll have to cook your own hot dogs at home, though.
Why not?
That's the National for this Tuesday, August 18th. Have a good night.
Good night.